Hello everyone, my name is Zumi, and today we are going to talk about someone whose life is like a road with storms and sunshine, the incredible Robert Downey Jr. With me today are my guests Candy and Carla. Welcome, girls.
Thank you, Sami. I am excited because Robert's story has many lessons about courage and personal growth.
Yes, his life shows that even when everything seems broken, you can still change directions. I'm happy to be part of today's episode.
Thank you for coming. So, let's begin with Robert's early life. He was born in 1965 in New York, and his family lived in a very artistic environment. His father was a film artist, and his mother was an actress. So creativity was part of his daily life, wasn't it?
Exactly. As a child, he appeared in some of his father's movies. He was what we call a young performer, someone who performs naturally with fear. But even if that sounds great, the environment was unstable. There were many parries, unusual routines, and little structure. All the atmosphere really played it up, making his motion stronger and sometimes confusing.
And unfortunately, he was introduced to drugs at a very young age. Not adult, he decided to rule them out, and because of that, the habit stayed with him. It became a quiet problem growing in the background.
And it's sad because he had so much talent, but the instability around him made everything harder. His childhood was like a puzzle with many missing pieces, some fun, some scary, and some dangerous.
Yes, this early stage explains many things about his future. When you grow up in a place without clear limits, it's difficult to understand what is healthy and what is not.
Okay, but now let's move to his rise to fame. In the late 80s and 90s, Robert became very popular. People saw him as a talented comedy artist and a great actor with a bright future.
He acted in several movies, and when he played Charlie Chaplin, he received an Oscar nomination. Many critics called him a future Hollywood legend. But behind the camera, things were different. His addiction began to burn him down, little by little, like a candle melting from the side.
Studios noticed that something was wrong. He sometimes arrived late or he didn't arrive at all. Because of that, producers started calling his roles off, and some people continue completed his role out, saying that he will never be able to continue in Hollywood.
And the media didn't help. They walk about his problem all the time, which only adds more pressure.
It's a good to remember that fame doesn't project anyone. Even successful people face inner battles that others don't see.
Between 1999 and 2003, Robert reached the lowest point of his life. He went to the jail. He was in rehab and almost lost every opportunity he had worked for.
Yes, and he felt he was walking inside a dark tunnel without clear exit. Even when he tried to start again, things didn't work. One TV show affected him, but they called him off after one only week because they were afraid he wouldn't replace.
At this point, Robert had to make serious decisions. He understood that he couldn't continue the same way and he needs to break his old lifestyle. And almost like taking a big problem and shutting it up into a small parts to understand what fixed first.
He also realized he needed support. No one can win a fight like this one alone. Recovery is not just about strength, it's about asking for help.
And this moment shows that even when life like is collapsing, there is always a chance to change direction. He was down, but he was finished.
Now the big question is, how did Robert start his transformation?
A very important person in this process was Susan Levant, who later became his wife. She supports him, helping calm him down when things feel difficult and encourage him to stay disciplined. She believes in him, but she also sets strong limits.
Robert also started therapy, meditation, exercise, and new routines. It was like rebuilding a house brick by brick after a fire. He had to create a new version of himself.
And when he tried to return to acting, producers asked him to fill them out. Many papers, tests, and agreements to show he was serious. This was not easy, I know, but he didn't want to pass them up. He knew these opportunities were small steps toward the life he wanted.
This period shows real courage. Change doesn't happen in one day. It's a slow, patient process, and he accepted that challenge.
Then came the moment that changed everything. Yes, we know. The casting for Iron Man in 2008.
At first, the studio wanted to roll him up. They thought he was still rich because of his spark. But the director, John Prefer, found for him. He said Robert understood the character better than anyone because he had lived strong, similar strong words.
When Robert auditioned, he gave a fantastic performance. He didn't want to pass it up because he knew this chance could transform his life.
And he was right. The movie became a huge success. Iron Man wasn't just a superhero, he became a simple metaphor of Robert's own journey. A man with problems who decides to fix himself and build something better.
After the film, he acted in many Marvel movies and became one of the most respected actors in the world. He also his influence to support charities and projects for the environment. He became a true humanitarian activist.
It's amazing to see how someone who almost lost everything managed to rise again. It shows that courage and discipline can open doors, even when people doubt you.
Okay, now let's share our opinions, girls. Candy, do you think that Iron Man is the most courage part of his story?
I'm not a big fan of choosing only one moment. I think his recovery is actually more inspiring than the movie.
I agree, I'm not crazy about focusing only on his success. I don't really like ignoring the difficult work he did to change his habits.
Nice. Those are good points. But what would you prefer to highlight?
I prefer to talk about the discipline he developed and how he rebuilt his family life.
I think I'd rather focus on the way he motivates people who struggle with addictions.
Nice, girls. Those are excellent ideas. If it were up to me, I'd emphasize the message that second chances exist, but you must be brave enough to take them. And well, to finish with this program, Robert Downey Jr.'s life shows that fear doesn't have to control us. His story is like a broken road that still leads to a beautiful place.
Yes, he became a true optimist and experienced someone who motivates others through his transformation.
And he proved that you can rise again even if you fall many times.
And well, now we are at the end of the path. So let me say thank you, Candy and Carla, for joining me. And thank you for watching Facing Your Fears. Never forget, your past does not decide your future. Your courage does. See you next time.